Felicitations, adventurers! Welcome to Incredibly Indie, where we showcase TTRPGs you've probably never heard of. I am Taylor Felicity, I use she, her pronouns, and today I'm here with Anne to play Lost Among the Starlit Wreckage by Seamus Conneely, which, despite the tagline of the series, you may very well have heard of this game before, because I've played it on this channel before. um, this time, however, I am playing the two-player version of the game before I played the single-player version, and if you watch that, you know it did not end that well for my character. But maybe that'll go differently this time, because I do have a rescuer. So speaking of two players, I am actually going to throw it over to Anne for her to introduce herself. Anne, tell us who you are and where we can find you, all that good stuff.
Um, Great. Hi, I'm Anne. I'm uh, I'm known as XO underscore Girl Wonder in most social medias and things. Yeah, I'm a TTRPG performer and a producer. I do stream things on my own channel. You know, learning the ropes. You can find me on twitch.tv/ Bardic Inspiration Network. That is my personal home for TTRPGs. I play D&D and the Power Rangers RPG there. Um, yeah, that's where you can find me. You can also sometimes find me on Girls Run These Worlds. I haven't done anything with them for a while, but I just recently finished a fight with spirit game for the channel. So if you check out the Girls Run These Worlds YouTube, the game is called Turn the Beat Around. I used a sports anime RPG and turned it into a dance competition. So check that out and check out all of the wonderful content that Girls Run These Worlds has on their YouTube and all of their live streams because uh, Girls Run These Worlds is very important to me. And fun fact is how I actually met Taylor. One random raid, and we became instant friends. So check them out.
Yeah, for sure. I also am having for some reason, my bitrate keeps dipping and coming back up. So, if you are in chat and watching things get a little pixelated and then come back, hopefully it settles out. It's not going like too bad, but that's what's happening there. I'm not quite sure why. Um, Also, I want to shout out Mr. Mephisto. Thank you so much for the follow. And also have a good time with your lurk. And then Dreamy is also in chat. Dreamy, I'm gonna redeem you those channel points for the alarm because we actually have a second overlay that's about to happen. So when that second overlay happens, then we'll be able to do the alarm thing. But right now it's turned off because it wouldn't make any sense on this overlay. It would look strange. So I'll redeem you those points and then you can do it in, like, probably a minute and a half. We are playing, as I mentioned, Lost Among the Starlit Wreckage, which is a 1 or 2 player game about being basically a mecha pilot or a mech pilot. I kind of go between saying one or the other. Where the pilot has been stranded in space after basically the final battle of this long war that they've been in. With the 2 player mode, they are sending transmissions back and forth, communicating with someone who is their rescuer. This can be a stranger, this can be a loved one, this can be another part of their uh, regiment or whatever kind of military thing is going on. And we'll determine that as the game kind of continues, what exactly our relationship is to each other. I do want to say thank you so much to Seamus, or Cannibal Halfling, for giving us a free PDF copy of this game, which you can pick up by clicking the link that's in chat right now, because it's a really good game. The game's so nice, I played it twice. It's really fun. It has some really fun mechanics, and actually the overlay that we're going to go to once we actually start playing, you'll be able to see kind of the card layout that we're referencing, which a lot of games I don't even do that for. I don't show like what we're interacting with, so the fact that I have that up, it shows that it's like kind of a cool thing. Uh There are some content warnings for this game, which I think I've mentioned both of the big ones already. This is going to be referencing war and combat because that is how the mech got stranded, was in like a galactic conflict, so that'll be a big theme. And then also being stranded in space is going to be a big theme for this one. Also, my character as the pilot can die during this game. So if that's something that's going to be like stressing you out or something you're not interested in partaking in, there is your call to close the tab and head out, because those are going to be big parts of the game. The last thing I'll say before we actually get into play is there are some things that you can do to help the stream. The first one is if there's a moment that you would like to see later on TikTok or YouTube Shorts or something like that that would be a good clip, you can use the command !marker or !hey Taylor in the chat, and that'll make a stream marker for me to come back to. I will show right now what that looks like. So yeah, if you say like, hey Taylor, or marker in chat with an exclamation point at the front, it'll make a stream marker for me to come back to and make a clip of that, which is super, super helpful to me. Another thing that you can do is, I do have an incentive for tips. So for this game specifically, if you tip $5 or donate to the PCRF through the charity campaign that I have going on Twitch right now, you will give us a chance to redraw a card, which is really big in this game because there's one card that you can draw that the game is over. If you draw a Joker during the game, it's over. your mech explodes. We'll be playing a version where that can't happen for the first 5 turns, just because that would be kind of a short stream. If we draw the first card, it's a Joker, and then the game is over. So we'll be protected for the first 5 turns, but after that, anything can happen. And so if you donate or tip $5, you can give us a redraw, and we can use that whenever. So you can give it preemptively, or if something happens, you can give it at that moment. I mentioned a fundraiser. I do right now have a fundraiser through Twitch for the Palestine Children's Relief Fund, which is an organization that provides medical care to children in Palestine, considering that there is a genocide happening in Palestine right now. Super important cause. And the money that you tip, like, just Twitch does its thing and gets it over to that foundation. So a really easy way to support a really good cause that definitely needs the money. And then the last thing that you can do, actually 2 other things. There is the channel point thing that I mentioned, which I'll show in a second, which has some fun effects that'll be on stream. And then the last thing that you can do to help the stream, congratulations, you're already doing it, whether you're watching us live right now on Twitch, whether you're watching the VOD later on YouTube. Really appreciate the support and hope that you enjoy what you're about to see. Speaking of which, I'm going to transition us to our other screen. And now you can see what we're looking at, and I can turn on the alarm lights and sound. Cool. Okay, so now I'll just go ahead and redeem it Dreamy so that you can see what it is. But you can use channel points to have these alarm lights come up on the stream. There is a lights only version. There's also a light and sound version. So, if you want to hype up the tension of what's happening, you can do that. Also, if you're worried the alarm is not like super loud and a grating alarm, it's more of those ones that's kind of like kind of sound. So if you're sensitive to loud noises, I don't have any like jump scare type stuff. And let me really quick redeem points to Dreamy. There we go. All right. So I think that's all of the start of stream stuff that I need to go over. So now I was gonna say I'm gonna stop talking. I'm gonna keep talking actually, but just in a different sense as the game starts.
I would like to point out that this is going to be a real weird stream for me if you stop talking.
If I just stop talking and take it from here. The game's all yours. So as we start our game, we'll actually start with setting up our characters a little bit, which we have a pilot and a rescuer. And Anne, you said that you had kind of an idea for what you wanted your character to be, and I fully do not have any idea of who my character is or what I want them to be like. So what were you thinking?
Okay, so hear me out because I have a very specific flair for the dramatic. What
Hmm.
if my character was a younger pilot that your character mentored, and then now I have to
Ooh,
go rescue my mentor?
yeah, I like that. That's good.
I mean, on top of that, we can layer in a family connection if you'd like, or just like we went to school together, or whatever you'd like to add to it. So that's my contribution.
Yeah, I really like that a lot. I think that's really cool. Do you think and I guess I'll ask this now cuz some of the stuff as we go through there'll be like prompts that'll lead us to like investigate this relationship a little more and develop things about it. Um but in the battle that I am currently stranded as a result of because like my mech was damaged, do you think your character was involved in that battle, or do you think that your character was working from like a more remote position or wasn't on like the front lines or was on the front lines but like not in the same location? What do you think?
Let- Well, I was thinking that maybe she was like a scout or something. She was not in the same location when it happened, so she was like from a distance uh
Yeah, I like
in the
that.
in the same yeah, in the same conflict but king elsewhere.
Yeah, so like maybe like whatever like group that I was in came in more towards the end of the battle as like a big I don't know what the word for any of this is, but like came in towards the end, and maybe your character came in like kind of towards the beginning, like right at the start of the conflict, and then by the time I was there, you had already left or like moved to a different location or was kind of on the fringes of things.
Well, I pictured her being like a scout or a spy, gathering intel. So she would have
Cool.
not necessarily been in the front lines, but maybe she came to give a report in the midst of the conflict. It's like, by the way, this very important person to you just got stuck. You're
Yeah.
the only one we have. Like, imagine everyone's busy with the war. You're the only one left. Go save this person now.
Go save this last person who got stranded there. Cool. Do you have an idea for your character's name or and slash or call sign?
Um, I am known for recycling names that I really, really like. Um, and this is going to be a callback to a couple of different characters. But my character's call sign is Slipstream,
Cool.
and yeah, I don't know. For do I tell you what her actual name is? I guess you would know.
I would probably know it,
Her
yeah.
Yeah, her name is Beatrice or Trixie because I
Uh,
really like that name. Eh,
I love that name.
yeah, and she has this kind of like, I don't know if it's like a reputation or whatever, but she's like the kid, the young upstart. She definitely almost looks like she's way too young for a goddamn war, but she is like old enough to
Yeah,
be
yeah, yeah.
enlisted to do this. But it's also like, like the terrible reality of war. Like there are people who look like they're way too young to be in this,
Yeah.
right? So
Yeah, that's true.
sorry,
I
sorry if I
really
got a
like that.
little too real there, but
No, that's fine.
um,
This game like that's why I put a content warning for war because this game does deal with that, and like some of the prompts and stuff will deal with that. So, Absolutely happy to go deep. Happy to have this get a little serious, a little real, even though it is a sci-fi story. All sci-fi stories get a little, the whole point of them is that they get kind of real. Um, okay, so then my character definitely will be older. Um, I'm trying to decide how much older. Maybe I don't think I want to do kind of like the grizzled old war vet. I don't think I want to be quite that old. Maybe like close to my actual age, like mid 30s. I think cuz that's definitely old enough that I would have like a higher rank, especially because a lot of times military service, if you don't go on to be like a general or something, you retire like, before you're particularly old. Um so I think that works. I think I'm also gonna do. It sounds like your character uses she/her pronouns. I'm also gonna do she/her.
Oh,
I think.
right. Yeah, my character also uses she/her pronouns. I Very important detail. Forgive my ADHD.
No, that's totally fine. I didn't specifically ask. So I think I'll also do. Yeah, I'll also do she/her. I am so I am bad with names. I think I'll think of the call sign first, and then maybe after some time I'll think of like an actual name that you would know. And I think I'll do call sign my character like. The call sign depends so much on like what the character is like, you know.
Well,
Um, or like what their
yeah, I
role
mean,
is.
I chose Slipstream just because it sounded cool. So I don't even necessarily fit
But
that.
that
I'm
fits
just
with the
like,
idea of like, Slipstream is like, oh, you're sliding in, you're spying, you're a scout. I think that works. Let's do I'm thinking of something like kind of like I think like I'm in like the front lines or like I'm kind of a heavy hitter. But I can't think of any words that go with that. Like the only thing I can think of is like
uh,
punch.
this
But that doesn't really.
smasher. Here's
Oh
here's an
yeah.
idea: bulldozer or a
Oh
jackhammer.
yeah, yeah,
That,
yeah, yeah,
that
yeah.
okay, so I have this weird thing where the first thing that comes to me when I build a character is some sort of name identifier. Most people are like, I named my character last. How the heck do you do that? But yeah,
I like
I don't know.
bulldozer. I think that's cool. That feels like a good call sign.
It
Um
feels strong. It feels
yeah,
strong.
yeah. And I'll think of an actual name as we go on. I am one of those people who's like I have to do my name last. Um so okay, so we've picked names for our characters. Oh, this does say if you have trouble, why not use your own? Considering the fact that I've already had one character in this game die, I don't think I want to use my own name. Pick a call sign or a nickname that you've been given. Spend a bit of time thinking about this one, why this one game has been given to you. I think we have done that. We've come up with a relationship between the two of us. So I think at least for a start, that is a good amount of character creation. I've already set up the mech. So what you all are seeing on stream and what you're seeing on these cards is kind of our readout for the mecha. And the thing that I think is really cool about this is because the cards are red and black, it really shows this kind of idea of like the red lights like lighting up on your control panel. I think it like looks very striking in that way, and really fits like the mood of the game. So that's why I wanted to show what it looks like, and also because we'll be doing a lot of moving around of cards and things, that's important for people to be able to see. So this is the diagnostic board in our cockpit, displaying the status of all the machine's systems with the reactor in the center. So you'll notice the red joker right in the center. Everything is either lit an ominous red or is about to get there. So, next we will roll 1d6 and draw that many cards from the deck. We'll compare these cards to the cards on the diagnostic board. If the face value matches a card on the board, remove that card from the board and discard it. If there are duplicates, you choose which of the two, which sometimes matters quite a bit. This represents the damage that crippled your mecha as the blare of a warning alarms fade to the ominous silence of a complete system failure. So, Anne, would you like to roll a d6 or would you like me to roll it to start us off?
Oh, you know what? I'll do it and pray for a 1. Oh, nope. Didn't happen. I rolled a 5. It
Oh
feels
no.
bad, man.
All right, cool. So I'll draw 5 cards. 2, and then we'll flip this
I'm sorry
over.
for your I'm sorry for your inevitable doom.
Sorry for my loss. All right, so the first one is a king. There is a king on here. Oh, there's actually 2 kings. I think probably this corner one would be the best to take off because basically as the game goes on, if there are cards that are cut off, like let's say we still had this king, but we lost the 7, the queen, and this 8, but we didn't lose the king would be cut off because we'd lose it because it wouldn't be connected to the rest of the diagnostic. So, with this king being so far from the reactor, I think probably discard that one, if that sounds good to you. Next is a
Um,
6.
I have a question.
Yeah.
Does do the colors matter? Like if we had to pick between like a black 6 or a red 6, would it matter like what's on the board?
I don't think so. There might be sometimes when the suit matters. I can't remember from the last time I played, but at least for this, the suit doesn't matter. It's just the value of the card. So the
Okay,
fact
well
that one of these is um, a different suit doesn't matter.
okay. Okay, I can see there's the 6. I think that's the only one we have. Do we want
Yes.
to prevent things from getting cut off and like make sure that we pull things from outside? Is that the strategy?
Yeah, I would say pulling things from the outside since we only have the 1/6, we have to do this one. But it is on the edge,
But
so that's good.
we lucked out. Okay.
And then I don't know if this is what you were asking or not, so I might be misinterpreting. But once the cards are removed, you can't like shift cards to place them to like replace.
Oh, okay. No, I
Um,
just meant like, do we have to match? Oh, geez.
sorry, that's the that's the sound effect.
No, 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 no. I love it. It's just it got real. You know what I mean? It got real.
Yeah. But yeah, it's we're in a mech. Things are going down. Um,
Okay.
okay.
So I see the 4 of diamonds up in the corner. I think that's the only
That
one
is
we
the only
have.
4. I think so.
Eh?
There. Okay, and then we have a 10. We do have another, I think just this 10. But it is also on the
Hmm?
edge, so that's good. And then a 6, but
I
I
guess
don't
we're
think have any more 6s, right? We took
uh, just took one out. So what happens there? Just
nothing. If
nothing?
there's no matching card, then nothing bad happens. Okay. Then after this is done, so you rolled a 5, but we only actually took 4 off, so so that's fine. Um, and after this is done, we shuffle the second Joker and all drawn and discarded cards back into the deck. So, I will flip this
Oh,
stack
they're going
over.
back.
They're going back in, and then shuffle the stack. Okay, so that's all shuffled back in.
Oh.
And I think that's everything set up. So, I, as the pilot, establish the scene by writing out or saying something as seen below. So I'm just gonna read Oh, I need to think of a name for my character. Okay, hang on for a second. I'm just gonna look up sci-fi names. Sci-fi name generator. Fantasy name generator, my beloved. Uh, oh, this is a cool name. Okay. I think I'm gonna do the name Emerton as my character's name. Like Emerson, but with a T. I will put that in chat so you can see. And my call sign is bulldozer, as as you came up with earlier for me, which I appreciate. So I establish our scene by saying kind of something along the lines. I'm just gonna read what's in the book, because I'm not good at coming up with things. Mayday, Mayday. This is Emerton, call sign bulldozer. My mecha has taken damage. I'm adrift. Systems are failing. Anyone on this frequency, please respond. Is anyone else alive out there? And then Anne, you can choose to respond as you would like. There is a prompt on page 14 if you want to read that, but if you want to come up with your own thing, you can come up with your own thing.
This is call sign Slipstream. I can read you. Oh God, I'm coming. Just keep talking and I'll follow the signal.
Cool. So we start our first round of play. We have 10 rounds that we that I have to survive, after which I'll be found and rescued. Each round is split into 3 parts. So we have making repairs, which I basically try to make repairs to my machine. Then we have a transmission where you and I are talking. And then system failure, where the person playing the rescuer draws cards to determine how much more damage happens during that intervening time. I draw 1 card from the deck. No. And it is I think this is the part where the suit matters. At the start of each round, the pilot draws 1 card from the deck, consult the prompts table on page 27, and consider the questions presented. This will be used during transmission, so I'll come back to that in a second. I then make repairs. I have to place the card face up over any card that has the same suit. So it doesn't have, for repairs, it doesn't have to have the same number. It just has to have the same suit, which is hearts for this one. If there are no cards of the same suit, I shuffle a card back into the deck. If I draw the Joker in this phase, it is good. But if we draw this Joker in your phase, it is bad. Let me look at our prompts, though. Which is this is a 6. So Anne, on page 27 of the PDF, if you look at prompt number 6, you as the rescuer actually get to choose which of those questions we will discuss. You can choose more than one, or you can just keep to one. The reason why there's multiple is because we might draw a 6 again in this part. So I will think about where I want to put this repair, and then you can think about what question.
Yeah, I think I have one.
Yeah, go for it.
Okay, are we doing transmission now? I guess this is what
Yes.
that is, right?
Yeah. So we'll do transmission, which
Uh,
I did place. I put it over this 9 here so that to kind of protect the area around the reactor. So during transmission, if we were playing solo, we would be writing down what we're saying. But since we were playing 2-player, we're just gonna have a conversation. Over the communications channel. And length and style depend upon our decisions as the pilot and rescuer. Are we talkers? Are we ramblers? Have we gotten quiet? Story's up to us, and the prompts as the pilot, us and the prompts as we try to fill the silence while drifting through the remains of the battlefield. And if playing with a rescuer, the rescuer chooses and asks the pilot at least one of the questions presented as part of the prompt. The pilot answers and then asks the rescuer the same question, and we can just go back and forth as long as we want with that. So I'm in this the control center of this mecha, and we've had this transmission where like I'm like, okay, there's somebody out there. I just have to try to patch some things up. So I think I'm like elbows deep inside the control panel trying to like connect pieces together and try to keep this whole thing from blowing up. And what are you asking me as your transmission?
Um, yeah, I think you hear a like. I'd like to think that there's some static, but you
Mhm.
hear a voice, and it's just like struggling to lock onto your signal. Tell me about your hopes and dreams before being a pilot.
Hopes and dreams. You're asking me something kind of hard to deal with right now, rookie. Okay. Uh Before being a pilot, like what I wanted to do instead of this, is that what you're asking me?
I mean, unless you were dreaming of fighting in a war, sure. Tell me about that. Uh, I just need to make sure I lock onto your signal.
Okay, yeah, sorry, I'm okay. And I like kind of like buckle down because I remember that like I think there's kind of this moment where I remember that even though you're not under my direct command now, and that I'm not like training you anymore, that I still want to put on a brave face for you because I'm like kind of your mentor. And so I kind of like stop what I'm doing for a second and I say, um, oh, and I'm dropping frames again. I don't know why that's happening. I might have to close. I might have to close some windows. I don't even know what I have up that's doing this. Anyway, I'm thinking about what my hopes and dreams were, and I think it's a little hard to even remember because I started um so long ago, and I'm like I've, been in I've been in this military for a while, and I say it's funny that you asked that. I mean, before I enlisted, I always wanted to fix up mechanics, make robots, that kind of stuff. So good thing I got a little bit of a knack for it now, and I'm like kind of connecting like some pieces together. And I'm like, God knows there's some people in our battalion who would be completely fucked if they were in the situation I'm in.
Oh wow, I don't think you ever told me that. That's really cool. Uh, um, how bad is it down there? Is your mech okay?
I look around and I think it's just like I can see this readout system that has all of these like lights going off, and I'm like, it's not looking good. The faster you can get locked on, the better. Not to put too much pressure on you, but it's gonna be easier on me to spill my secrets if I can ask, if I can ask you something. What did you want to do before all this?
I mean, really, the truth is, I I don't really know. I kind of just enlisted straight out of school because I didn't know what to do. Uh, I don't know if ever felt like half of you was missing, but when my sister got really, really sick, I felt lost. I don't
Yeah, I
I don't
can I can understand that.
I guess if you're asking me about what I wanted to do, what my dreams are, it's kind of sad, but I don't think I know how to dream.
I mean, come on, you gotta have something. You gotta have something you wanted to do.
You know, none of it. If none of it really feels like it matters when you lose your twin. But I mean, honestly, I always kind of thought it would be fun to be a performer, an idol for the masses, tour the different planets of our system and inspire. But again, none of that seems to matter when half of your heart is gone.
Okay. Slipstream, I need you to make me a promise.
Sure, I promise.
You get me out of here. You gotta you gotta sing a song for me, okay? I just want to hear whatever your favorite, you know, whatever you'd be touring with. You gotta sing it for me, okay?
All right. Um, Look, I think I'm okay. I think I've got a lock on your signal. Um, I'm working as fast as I can. My commanding officer had me scouting some of the outer planets for some intel, but you know how it is in the war, so I'll be there as quick as I can.
Take your time. I'm like covered in
Is that
grease.
um at first it sounds like Slipstream was about to hang up, but then there's a like she comes back on the frequency and says, "Don't appreciate your callous humor. I am very stressed."
I love that.
Or no, gallows humor.
Yeah, yeah.
Sorry, I misspoke, but yeah.
That's great. I love that. Yeah, it sounds like you're ready to
um,
roll your dice for the system failure. So you roll a d6, and this basically is kind of how we set up the game. You roll a d6, you draw that many cards, and then you decide which, if they match cards on the diagnostic board, you remove the card from the board. What did you roll?
I rolled a 6. No, I
Listen,
feel really
listen.
bad.
It happens.
Okay,
We gotta
okay.
set the stakes.
Look. Oh, jeez. Yup. This is bad. This is
The
really
alarms
bad.
are going off.
I love the timely sound effect. Yeah,
Yeah,
I love the
dreamy, good.
timely sound effects. It really does help me get into it.
All right,
All
let's
right, here we
flip these
go.
bad boys over.
Oh, look, there's a 6. What do we do? Do we
Oh,
pull?
yes, I think that means that destroys the repair. Let me check really quick.
Okay,
I
so it
think that's
doesn't
what. Yeah, it just takes off the patch that I put on there, I believe.
because it's out on the top.
Yes. So basically what the repairs do, because I
Perfect.
don't even think I said this,
Um,
but let's say you drew a 9 and that 6 was still there. That would mean that
yeah.
the 9 would not be destroyed because there's a patch on it. So
Perfect. Next, there was a 9. Welp. Um, do we want to take the out of
oh
the
yeah, we have
outer
some
edges,
choices. Yeah, I would
far
say one of the
away from
outer edges. So, for the
probably this 9
reactor.
up here.
Yeah, I would say so. And then just for like additional information for you and also for the audience, diagonal paths don't count. So these four, the three, the ace, the two, and the nine that are around the Joker are the ones that we would least want to have destroyed because those cut off like a whole side basically to the reactor. All right.
Great.
Only one
Oh
queen, I
no,
think.
that's a queen.
Yeah.
I
Time to say
am I
goodbye.
am bad at rescuing. No.
Oh
Oh,
no! Okay,
so
well.
You just get in the bin.
Into the bin.
You're in the bin. Well,
It gets shuffled back in,
do we
yeah,
want
so
to
put it to
put
the
it back?
side. Yeah,
Okay.
it would go
Okay.
I'll
Or
put it over.
okay, wait. Up there. Okay. We just
No more
ditched the
queens.
last queen, so
That's
this
fine.
can't go any worse. And then we'll have take remove the last king. This is great. I'm already having the best time.
And then we'll shuffle this in. So for anybody who's missed when we said this earlier, we are playing with a stable reactor. So the first 5 turns drawing a joker doesn't end the game. It is very funny that literally the first opportunity, if we weren't playing that way, we would have 1 transmission and then immediately the mech is destroyed.
I'm hi. I'm cursed.
But we're playing with a stable reactor, so the stream continues. And we go. I put a mark that we finished our first turn. And then we go back to the what is it called? The repairs. So I'll draw a card. And this is another 6. That's so wild. What do I want to put it over?
We're
I
out of
think
sixes though. Oh no,
oh
sorry. We
yeah.
have diamonds. It's a diamond. Where do you wanna
Oh yeah, you're right.
put?
I can't I could put it on this too.
Oh, is the two a diamond? I didn't notice that. I am such an.
Yes.
I am protect the reactor. That's smart.
And I think yeah, is that
So
our last 6?
it's another six. Are we still talking about dreams? Because that's really sad. I don't want to talk about dreams
It's
anymore.
up to you. You could ask a new question. I can't remember if all the questions are related to dreams. Um
They are.
yeah, then
They
we're still
are.
talking about dreams.
I don't want to talk. Um. Damn. I think what happens is uh I'm trying to think. My musical improv skills are not what they used to be, but on the transmission hear a song about um about um lost dreams. Um uh it's a kind of like a really slow, like jazzy, like jazz standard sort of vibe of just like a really soulful lament of like uh lost dreams and a time of despair. And yeah, I think that's what you hear. And you hear Slipstream sing about uh losing herself and losing her voice. So, you can't ask her about dreams that she's lost. She's already answered it.
I think I like the idea because the last systems failure was pretty brutal. So I think that like maybe there's a piece of another ship or like an asteroid or something that has hit the ship and caused like all of these like diagnostics and stuff to go off. And as the kind of like creak it like the sound of this impact dies down, I like kind of am like cowering underneath something, and we can just hear the creaking of this mecha around me. And then almost eerily, the song comes through the transmission of this like kind of sad song, and you kind of talking about uh talking about your lost hopes and dreams and things like that. And I kind of make my way back over to, like, where the transmission, like, where my, like, microphone is, and, um, I I think I restrain myself from making a joke about, like, "Wow, you really know how to set the mood, like, I'm about to die, and you're playing this, like, super sad music." So I think I say that kind of under my breath before I start, like, actually doing the transmission, um, and I say so the question you're asking about is, like,
Lost
dreams that
dreams is
yeah, lost dreams.
dream. Yeah. Yeah. It's which dreams have you lost forever? But she's singing her inquiry
Yeah.
and sharing her own soul. Also, she
Yeah.
is sad girl. So
Yeah.
sad.
Um, I think after, like, you fit like, I don't interrupt the song, like, I let the rest of the song play as I'm, like, trying to patch things up and, kind of, like, patch something on to, like, around the reactor, and as the song finishes, I say, "That's really beautiful. Really that was really beautiful."
Thanks. They they say write what you know, and when I wrote that song, sadness was what I knew. Um, lost was what I knew, but I'm hoping to change history. You know, this time it won't be a loss. I don't know. Have you ever felt anything like that? Lost dreams?
Yeah, I've felt things like that before. I used to be married. I don't know if I ever told you that. I don't know if you've ever seen the picture that I keep with my stuff in my locker back at the barracks. But I had a wife and she having a spouse when you're in this line of work doesn't always work out, even when you want it to. So that's probably my biggest dream that I lost, and she's with somebody else now, and I'm sure is much happier. So I don't think I'm getting that dream back, and I don't know if I am a good spouse. So I don't know if it's gonna happen again.
I I don't know that. Well, I don't know anything about being married or having a spouse, but I don't think the entire dream is lost. I mean, I'm trying to have hope. In times of war, that's really challenging, isn't it? But um, I think we just kind of have to keep moving forward. And I don't know. Sometimes I have really hard days, but most days I believe my sister would want me to keep trying, even if I don't think it's possible to dream, to hope. There's not very much I can control right now. I am flying at warp speed, so hopefully I'll get there real soon. Um, but you asked me to promise to sing you a song, and that one just felt right in the moment.
Um, yeah, I think I'm like listening to what you're saying, and just have this feeling that you're so young to be this sad. Um, and that I'm kind of like it's almost like taking my mind off of the situation that I'm in, that you are talking about like your own life and how like kind of rough it's been for you. So it's almost like I'm like focused on like trying to bring your spirits up so I don't have to focus on the fact that, my ship might be about to explode. Um and I said, you've got your whole life ahead of you, like you've got I think you got a lot of I think you have a lot of good things in your future.
Oh, I would hope so, since we've been fighting so hard for to have a future at all. I hope that I can make you proud and make my family proud, and well, if we manage to survive this conflict, which, as much as we'd like for it to be over, we're not quite there yet, but once we get out of all of it, you know, I intend to I intend to I intend to live for the both of us.
You make me kind of nervous.
I'm doing my best. I'm doing my best.
I think yeah, my my character isn't sure if you're talking about, when you say living for the both of us, if you're talking about your twin or if you're talking about me. So it's like I'm not dead yet.
Oh, 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 I'm leaving it intentionally
Yes.
ambiguous, but no, it's heavily implied she's talking about her sister. And
Yeah, I
she's
like that.
kind
I
of like
like
lost
that
in her own
it's
thoughts that she
yeah, yeah,
doesn't.
yeah. I love that. I like that it's ambiguous. Um
Did I mention
do
it?
you
Did
want
I mention I have a flair for the dramatic? I don't want to roll dice anymore. I'm cursed. Okay. All right.
you have to.
Oh, is it? It's the Brennan Lee Mulligan moment. You have to roll the dice, sweetie. She's the DM.
Yeah. It's me. You have to roll the dice and maybe kill me.
Um. Okay. I rolled a 4. One,
Okay.
2, 3, 4. I don't like this. Oh, 3.
Ooh.
Okay. Oh, I don't like that.
Not my favorite thing that's happened.
Oh, I hate it. Oh wait, did we want
Oh,
to
there's a different
remove the
three. Yeah,
hearts,
yeah,
or
yeah, yeah, yeah.
there's a different 3?
Yeah,
I
let's
was
do the
like,
different three.
let's remove that one. Okay, I don't like that one. Okay, there's a 5. Yes, we have. Well,
Either one, I
which
think is
one?
either
Do you
one's
care?
fine, I think.
I don't. Okay, we're gonna be we're gonna get hella awkward with this, but that's okay. Ooh,
We're out of
we don't.
kings.
All right, well, do we have any 4s on board? We do
No,
not.
I don't think so.
That could have been worse.
Yeah, that was not so bad. And we'll pick that up. Only 8 rounds to go.
We're not. We're. This is going to be a disaster. We're not going to make it. Let's be real. I have doomed us all already.
I'm gonna draw a card. It is an 8 of. Oh, and none of our
Spades.
nothing's cut off. Yeah, 8 of spades. So the
Yeah,
only one.
spades.
Oh, I can do this.
Yeah, you might want to do it there.
Yeah, I think I
Hey,
will do it
you're
there.
doing a great job. You're doing a great job. I am dooming us all.
Well, you're the rookie. Okay. Oh, and then since it's an 8, you can pick from the 8 prompts for
Hey,
what you would like to
finally,
ask
not a
next.
6. Oh, these are great. These are great. Um, okay. I think what happens is after that kind of really sad moment, um, Bulldozer doesn't hear from the rookie for like a solid moment while she's, you know, tinkering and making repairs. And as she, um, after she's done like her most recent round of repairs, um, there's a transmission that comes in and she says, you know, being assigned to intelligence is fun in a certain way, but like I miss training with you. I miss all of the fun drills and, shooting things out of the sky. Like, tell me about the people you fly with, your squadron. What's it like in the front lines?
Um, I think I laugh a little bit and I say I say the fact that you found training to be fun is one of the reasons why you've gone as far as you have. I mean, and I think about like all of the like training I'm sure is like grueling because it's like, a military thing and you're like this like I enjoyed this. So I kind of laugh a little bit and I say I wish I shared your affection for my own training program. It was pretty rough, but I did I did form some pretty strong bonds with my squadron. Um and I think as I'm saying that, so like in the game, it's basically that this is like the final battle. Like however this went determines like how the whole overall war went. And my character obviously doesn't know. Like, I'm stranded in this mech. I don't know how the battle turned out. It's
Well,
up to you if your character knows.
yeah, I my my character doesn't necessarily know either because she's been shipped off to,
Yeah.
the edges of the conflict to gain more intel. So I imagine that by the time you get rescued, it'll be over, and then we'll both learn together. In
Yeah.
my mind,
Cool.
anyway.
That works for me too. The only reason I mention is because I'm thinking if your character has more information than me, then you can like obviously like decide things to be true or not. But I also like that we both kind of don't know that like things are just wrapping just wrapping up for this battle. So as I'm talking about the rest of my squadron, I'm trying not to focus on the fact that I don't know if they all made it out. Like, I don't know what all of their status is now. And so I am kind of like, yeah, I mean, if you got a good squadron, then that really makes or breaks the experience and us being on the front lines, even with all of us being, you know, none of us are rookies. And a lot of people, as soon as they can get off the front lines, they do. So all of us sticking it out and being such heavy hitters, um, you forge you forge a bond there that's not like anything else. Maybe that's yeah, that's why my wife was a little insecure because I think I was closer to some of my squad mates than I was to her. And that's not, I'm sure, a good feeling for her to have.
That can't be helped. It's hard out there, and I'm sure deep down she understands she's the reason you've been fighting.
I I don't know if she is the reason. I think when I started, I was thinking I enlisted for things like that, like to protect the people that I love. But at a certain point, I don't know if that's, I mean, this is just between you and me, but I don't even know if that's what we're doing. You might have more of a beat on that being an intel than I do. I just get shipped off someplace and some far-flung part of the galaxy that's not near anybody that I know or care about, and I think, "What am I doing here?" But at that point when I'm fighting for my squad. I'm not fighting for anybody else in the world.
That must be nice. Um, in intel units, we it's not very often that we travel together in any sort of a squadron, actually. Uh, if I'm lucky, I'll get sent off with a buddy in, pairs, but, you know, intel is, it's a, it can be a lonely life, but, you know, I'm not really operating alone, even though I'm often operating alone, if that makes any sense to you. Um, that being said, I do relate to the idea that um, you know, I don't even really know what I'm working towards, maybe the end of the war. That's all I really care about. I don't know. Gave up I gave up what was left of my youth because I didn't know what else to do with myself. But I mean, I'll be perfectly happy to see this war end. So I guess that's the reason. I mean, I would like to think that the intel I'm providing is working towards the end of the war, but could just be my naive rookie optimism.
Do you think that Slipstream, I guess what I'm thinking of how long this war has lasted. Do you think Slipstream has lived in a world before the war, or do you think it's lasted long enough that it's been like your whole life this has been something that's been going on?
Well, okay, I picture Slipstream like in her mid 20s, so I think at least her entire adult life.
Yeah.
Like, I think her sister got sick. She kind of was like, I don't like singing and dancing seems like a stupid goal right now.
Yeah.
And she just kind of threw herself in the war. I also imagine that like she's done decent at the physical aspects of training because she's dancing is very athletic. I will have you know. There's
It's
some
true.
real fit dancers out there. So, her youthful exuberance for piloting her mech specifically is comes from just being in her mid 20s. But I think she's definitely known war her entire like adult life so far, which is very short. But
Yeah, I think that makes
she's
sense. I'm just like imagining that contrasted with my character being like probably like a good like 10, maybe 15 years older, so having more of my adult life pre any of this. And so you being like, I just want this to be over, and me thinking like about before the war and like what things were like and what that will be like for you. And just kind of feeling some solace in that if this is the last. I think before this fight we've been kind of like it's been like, okay, this is probably gonna be the last skirmish, like if we can turn the tides on this, then like everything's gonna be done. And so I'm just hoping that this is the last experience like this that you have to have, or like the last person that you have to lose through something like this.
okay. Great. Does that mean I have to roll again?
Yeah.
Uh, no. Wait, is this the third one? Did we forget to track it? because
This
I don't
will
think
be the
we.
third one. I've been doing them after,
Okay,
so after you do this, I'll tick it up to
okay. I was like,
3.
oh no, I rolled another 5. I hate it here.
You're rolling so high.
I hate it. Okay, there's a queen, but
Yeah, that's good.
hold on. We don't have any queens left, do we?
Yeah, we
Hey,
don't.
this might be okay. Okay, this might be okay. Goodbye. 10. Do
Uh,
we have any 10s?
no, I don't think so.
Not.
That is the
Hey,
nice
this
thing.
doesn't
If
suck.
you have fewer cards, then there are fewer that you can destroy. We do have an ace. We have 2 aces.
We have 2 of them, so what would you like to do
The
about this?
ace
What
of
would you like to do
diamonds.
about this?
It's up to you. The ace of diamonds won't
Ah,
if
you want
we
to pull
do.
that one?
Yeah, because if we pull the ace of clubs, then it'll cut off this 8, so we'll lose 2 that one.
Okay, I'm gonna. Hey, that wasn't terrible. There's a 5. Got any 5s? What's up?
We do. It's
Oh,
up
the
to
one
7
up
now.
here. I have this one. Oh, that could have been worse. 4? Hello? Okay, we don't have
Of
a 4
course.
either. Nice.
Good. All right, I'll tick that up to 3. So then I will draw a card for
Oh God.
repairs. And it is diamonds. So what do I want to do with this diamonds?
We don't have we don't we don't have anything directly to protect around the actor though. Like
Yeah.
diamonds wise. The
Yeah,
7?
it doesn't really yeah, I'm
No.
thinking the 7. It doesn't really matter that much because this is just protecting a card that would be on the edge regardless. So I'll put on the 7 just on because none of the cards it really matters if we I mean it matters if we lose them, but they're not going to cut something else off. And oh yeah, I keep forgetting that and then I have to that determines the prompt. So this time it would be a prompt for Jax. Oh, this is a rough
Oh
one.
well. Uh okay. I don't want to do this one. This one's so sad. I made myself sad. I made my Taylor help, I made myself sad.
I'm gonna make you more sad.
Yup. This is why I was chosen. Um, I think I think after your latest round of patching up and repairs, there is a kind of like she wasn't particularly loud to begin with, but it's it's almost like she's afraid to ask the question, but she's when she finally comes back on the frequency, hear a quiet voice that just asks, "What if you don't make it? What should I tell them?"
Things are going that bad, huh?
Okay, so I'm I mean, the signal is flickering and I'm going through a, you know, conflict zone, and I have to work my way around a demilitarized zone, so I'm not allowed to pass through the giant patch of um, you know, space, and they're making me turn around. Yeah, they can't just let me go through directly because I'm, you know, hey, here's the spot in this sector where you're not allowed to go because we agreed not to bring war there. So I'm like, it's like, come on, I am a scout. I am intelligence. I am not a seen my mech. It's not that big. They wouldn't let me through because I work for the military and it's so pointless. But yeah, I'm being a little more held up than I would like to. So if you could, if if you could humor me in this line of inquiry, I didn't want to think about it, but it occurred to me that you might want to pass something along in case I don't make it in time. I mean, it's probably not that bad. You've repaired your mech, right? Like it's going okay, right? This is
Uh,
just in case.
yeah, yeah. I can definitely hold out a little longer. It's not as bad as I thought it was when I first sent the distress signal. I think like we see like you like as I'm saying that, like, first the camera's like kind of on you, and then after I said it cuts back over to me, and it's like you can see like red like red lights everywhere. Like I've stabilized things some, but there's a lot of damage. I think there's like some parts kind of just around me that I've just ripped out that are like not working anymore. And I say, oh, perfect. The alarms are going off. And I say, um, yeah, no, I appreciate it that you're asking, even though I think things are good. Even if you're getting held up, things are still good here. Uh, okay, you can tell my squad, Delta Squad. Um, I've got some notes that I've written to each of them uh under my bunk. So if they go there before everything gets taken away, if I'm dead and the bunk gets reassigned, get there quick. I left some notes for them and told them what to do with my stuff. And get a chance to talk to them, whoever made it out. If I don't, that it's not their fault, that they did the right thing when they got out of here. Um, and not to feel like they left me behind. They couldn't have known that I wasn't going to be able to make the jump. And I don't think I have anyone else who's really going to want to hear from me. So I think just let them know that. Uh,
um and I think there's like a moment of pause, and then you you hear Slipstream go, yeah, I'll make sure they know just in case. But this is stupid. I don't think I'll need to deliver this message. You can tell them yourself, whatever. And then there's a sound of like phasers and gunfire, and then it's right before it disconnects, you just hear, not today, Satan, and like guns firing.
yeah. I think I'll also, not to change anything that you just said, but I think depending on how you
Yeah.
feel about this, cuz I can ask it back to you. I think maybe
Oh,
like,
no, no,
yeah, there's like
no.
that.
I think there's just like a she um she wants to, like, she kind of instinctively knows that it's gonna get asked back to her, and she's actively avoiding it. And then like there's something that happens outside of her cockpit of just like
Yeah.
she's trying to get through, and then she just goes, not today, Satan.
Yeah. I like that. So then, yeah, I think I just ask into like the ether. I am like, sounds like she might need someone to convey some last words. I wonder, wonder what she would want me to say if I make it out of here and she doesn't.
You will never know because she's actively avoiding it.
I
She's
love
actively
that.
avoiding the question.
Cool. That means you have to roll some dice. You can't avoid that.
Oh no, I avoided one thing. I cannot avoid this. God damn it! My dice are rolling hot.
You're trying to kill
No!
me.
No, Taylor, I love you. I'm sorry.
What did you roll? What did you roll?
I keep rolling 5s, and I rolled a different d6.
Oh my gosh. It's
This
meant
makes
to
no
be.
sense.
Dreamy just asked, "Are you guys living?" Kind of. Anna's not rolled lower than a 4, which is bad for this.
I'm so
But
cursed.
but we'll
Oh,
see.
watch. It's gonna be great. No, I had plans to be a hero. All
It
right.
might be me who's cursed. I have died in this game before, so it's
No,
gonna be
but I
so
was
funny
supposed
if
to
one of these is a
change that.
Joker.
We didn't even make it to turn 4. Okay. Meh.
Oh, not a
Okay,
Joker. For a
there's a
second, I
jack.
thought it was. I would
Do we
maybe.
want
Oh, yeah, take off the patch.
do
I
we
think,
want
because
to?
yeah, because otherwise it's gonna cut off
Uh
2 cards. It's gonna cut off the 9 too.
okay. Yoink. There's a 4. Do we have any 4s?
I don't think so.
4s. Ah, no.
We're not at our 5th turn yet. So set that to this. I'll set that over here. Yeah.
There's a 7 here.
There's two
There's 2 of
sevens.
them,
You
but
can have your choice. It
which
doesn't really
one?
matter to me.
Yeah, well, I mean, if you oh, I am cursed. This is the second time. This feels bad, Taylor. There's a 10. Do we have a 10?
No.
Okay, well,
Back in and shuffle.
only I only picked up the bad card. Totally fine.
So this is our last turn that will be protected from the Joker. So we'll do this turn and then we'll go to break and then we'll see. Maybe we'll only last like 5 minutes after break. Who knows? But I will draw a card. And this is a Jack of Spades. Do we have? Oh, I don't have anything that I can
Have a spady
even.
spades?
I think
Oh
only
no.
a
Can you cover a
patch.
jack? Can you
No, it
cover a
has
jack?
to.
Can you just patch a patch?
Yeah, I'll patch a
Just
patch.
patch over the patch. She's
So
like patches on patches. Another Jack question.
slapping
Oh
it over.
no! Oh my god! Okay, so Taylor, hear me out. This doesn't exactly work the way as written, right? But
Yeah,
because it's the same card, can we just have it so that you like
ask
um
you.
yeah, it's like the sequel and it's just like and because like I imagine because you heard a little bit of the gunfire, like the
Mhm.
lasers and stuff, you're like,
Yeah,
what the
yeah,
fuck?
yeah.
And they're just like, wait a minute, kid. You pick up the phone, right? You pick up the line right
Yeah.
now. I'm not done with you.
Yeah,
Um,
I think as soon as you come back, before like as soon as I hear like the transmission open, like there's like a little bleep or something, and I say, just like before you can even say anything, I just say, okay, well, how do you want to be remembered? What do you want me to tell your family?
um, okay, first of all, I nearly got shot down from the freaking sky
That's why I'm
by
asking you.
really, I mean, look, I haven't really had time to think about it, but you know, uh, tell my parents I love them and I'm sorry I never gave them a grandchild, I guess. um, I don't know. I don't think about dying. I just think about trying to live. You know, when you have a twin who didn't get a fair shot at trying to live, You know, it. I don't think about death that often. And then she just says, "Someone lied about this demilitarized zone." Um, or someone decided that they were going to not follow the rules and try to shoot down, you know, intelligence units, but I guess I'm not supposed to be here. Yeah, no, minor detail. But yeah, no, I really don't want to talk about uh um last words or anything like that, but I would hope that um you know, I would be remembered as someone who gave a shit.
Yeah. I if I make it out of here, I mean, I've always thought of you that way.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I don't know if this is how you'd like to be remembered, but I definitely remember you as someone who, I don't know, someone who is really passionate, like you really whipped me into shape. Just because I thought flying around in my mech was fun does not mean that I did not suffer in training. But I know it was for a greater good. But I guess we're talking about how we want to be remembered. How do you want to be remembered?
I think passionate's the nicest way that someone's said that to me, so I appreciate it. I think I'm getting to the age where I'm realizing that how I want to be remembered is doesn't really doesn't really matter that much because if I wanted to be remembered a certain way, I should have lived my life that way. So I'd like to be remembered fondly, but I've made some enemies and I'm not I think I like think back to like those times in training where I was like yelling at like recruits and like being really intense and stuff like that, like not being like a particularly fun person to be around. And I kind of like wince a little bit and I say, I don't think everyone's gonna remember me fondly, but if I wanted them to, I should have probably lived differently.
I think sometimes we become the product of our circumstances. I think that those who won't remember you fondly will only remember the times of terrifying intensity. But I have the privilege of your mentorship, and I know that deep down in that uh, rough, past that rough exterior is, you know, um, it's just a whole lot of heart and a whole lot of passion. But, if you'd rather be remembered as someone scary, I promise I won't ruin your reputation. And there's for the first time, like a bit of an amused chuckle.
Yeah. I think right after you say that, like I like there's like kind of a spark as I like connect something wrong and I like get like a little bit burnt and there's just a slew of like profanity that comes over the train as I'm just like god damn it like just doing like a dad meltdown of like getting hurt fixing something kind of energy and and then I like realize and like stop my communications as I like continue to like cuss up a storm, having injured myself.
Okay. Mm,
Oh no.
God damn it! Why do I keep rolling fives? No, I have like six different. I have rolled six different d6s today, and they've all like rolled
They
so
all want
high.
to
I
roll
do not
high.
like.
You get to draw half of the
Uh,
cards left in the deck right now. So, odds are
I do
good
not like this.
that it'll be a
Odds are
joker.
good that we're gonna get absolutely hosed.
Yeah,
Okay,
I
let's
think
see. There's a two.
okay, there is a 2.
And we 1, 2, boink. There's a 7. I
Yep.
guess doesn't. Yeah, on a scale of 1 to. Uh-oh. There it is.
There it is. That's the last time we can draw it and nothing bad happens.
Do we have a 4
I
left?
don't think
Nope.
so.
Sorry. I'm sorry. You're gonna die in the next turn.
Odds seem good that I will die when we come back from break. Let me give this a little
Or maybe you'll
shuffle.
draw. I'll draw the
Maybe I'll
Joker.
draw the Joker. Yeah. Okay. I'm gonna really
Save
quick.
yourself.
I'm gonna really quick check something. If da, 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 da. I think if we run out of cards, I'm
Did we get
assuming I just
anything from charity?
no, not yet. I think if
No.
we draw I think if we draw through all these cards, we just shuffle them back in. I'm assuming. I can check that while we're on break. But speaking of, we are gonna take a quick break. It'll probably say 15 minutes on the overlay. It might be a little bit shorter than that. But while we are on break, you can follow me over on YouTube, which is YouTube at Roll for Felicity over there, where I have one shots of other games that I've run on stream, including the one player game that I ran of this game, which was a lot of fun and really heartbreaking. So I've
So,
got that. And then also, let me do this. You can follow Anne other places. The link to her beacons is in chat right now, so you can follow her all the different places there. Or Bardic Inspiration Network, which you should just be able to click from my stream title. And then also go get this game while we're on break. It's really good. You should play it, or at least click on the link and check it out. Get some traffic over there. And yeah, we're going to take a break. We'll be back in 10-15 minutes with the second half of this game, which might be considerably shorter than the first half because we are officially past our safety zone. There's 6 cards left in the deck, and one of them is a Joker. So we may come back from break and immediately die. But that's the game. It'll be fun if it happens. And we'll see you all in like 10-15 minutes. Bye. Felicitations, adventurers. Welcome to the second half of our game of Lost Among the Starlit, Wreckage by Seamus Conneely, who, again, thank you for providing us a free PDF copy of this game for us to play. So far, I think I may be cursed in this game. The first playthrough that I had of this game ended in a pretty heartbreaking way when it was just my solo game. And we are halfway. So if we get to 10 turns and my mech doesn't explode, then my character survives. We are, however, at 5 turns that have transpired. We have
I
6
drew.
cards left in the deck.
I drew the Joker 3 times before turn 5. 2 times, 3.
I think
I think it might have
3.
been 3.
It was either 3
Yeah,
or
I think it
4.
might.
It was almost every single time because you
No,
did it the first time.
no, no. I think it was 3.
Yeah.
There were a couple of turns where there wasn't any, but like, yeah. I
That
think I
rascally
ha-
Joker.
I think I'm the problem.
Well, we'll find out. So, this next turn that we're about to do will really kind of make or break things because I will draw a card. If I draw the Joker,
Drop the
that's
Joker.
good. That means that we get
Drop
to
the
basically
Joker.
have like a 2 turns added instead of 1. But if Anne draws the Joker on her turn, then my mech explodes. So let's draw this card. Let me make sure it's where I can see. It is not the Joker. It is a 10. But I do get to use it as a repair. I'll repair this 8, even though that doesn't really matter that much in the grand scheme of things. But I think it's the only club. Oh no, there's the ace as well. I'll do the ace. Then
I feel so
if
bad.
if the ace gets cut off, that's
I
definitely worse.
I
So,
feel so bad.
you shouldn't feel bad. It's just the game, to be honest.
Yeah, but the
All
game's
right.
making me feel bad, honestly. Let's be real. It's supposed to make me feel bad. But
Yeah.
it's supposed to be
Ooh,
I
the
don't
prompt for 10 is good. So what was the last thing we said before we went to break? We were talking
it was
about I'm now my brain is just completely.
oh, where did it go?
Oh, was
We
it
were
your
talking
last wishes? Is that what we ended
yeah,
on?
like how we ended on how we'd like to be remembered.
Oh, yeah, yeah,
Like
yeah.
the
You're right.
last words, but also we did the other questions, so I added it in about how we'd like to be remembered.
Yeah, yeah. So yeah, we did that. I turned off the transmission because I hurt myself and I was like cussing up a storm. That's the last thing that I said. So I think after that I kind of like adjust a little bit. I get like something else patched. It's not that close to the reactor, but I think I'm pretty much out of materials that I can use to help the reactor, which I can see on my readout is like kind of overheating. I think I'm trying to reroute things. Like I'm not doing physical repairs anymore. I'm trying to like cut things off, like cut power to things that I can lose, and like the excess of power that like the generator or the reactor's like overheating. I'm trying to reroute like any of that elsewhere. So I think I'm just like you can see like again these lights coming up over my face as I'm like frantically trying to do some engineering to keep my reactor from overheating. And what does your character say as you come back on the transmission?
Um what comes back on the transmission is um it's not Slipstream's voice at first, and it's almost like she has accidentally transmitted like her like audio feed of like her Max kind of like radio or whatever. it is a like really upbeat song about like having a good time. Actually, I don't know if you know this song, but it's my favorite song from S Club 7, and it's called Good Times. So it's basically that vibe of just like a really smooth, happy pop song
Mm-hmm.
comes into the transmission, and then she's like, "Oh, god damn it. I'm sorry. You weren't supposed to hear that." Uh I was thinking though, like I know like war is really terrible and really, really like it's really shitty, but like I don't know, can we even say that you can have good memories during a war? I mean, I was just wondering, like honestly, like my good memories aren't even during the actual war. They were like getting ready for the war, you know, like you and like oh yeah, I was miserable in basic training and I was miserable when you became my training officer, and I was miserable until I got into a mech. But like people, what I wish people would understand about you is that, you know, once you get past all of the yelling and all the tough exterior, you know, there's there's a heart there, and you know, you took me in at a time in my life where, you know, my parents didn't really know how to support me emotionally, and you know, they mean well and they're great parents, but you know, it's just everyone was grieving and we didn't know how to support each other. So, you know, you really helped me out. So I guess if I could say I had a good memory from the war or a fond memory, guess it would be like before I got assigned to intelligence and learning everything I know from you, learning how to fly. That was really what made it so fun.
My first memory. Um, it is nice to think about positive thoughts right now. I know you said like sorry about the music, but it was nice for me to hear something like that. I haven't really kept up with what you youngins listen to. And it reminded me of sometimes we have kind of these formal events and things like that with the military, and the events are not that fun. They're pretty stuffy, and the food's always terrible, and there's always somebody getting some kind of commendation or award that is a shithead, and so you're kind of like just grin and bear it. But after those, you usually get some leave. You can go out on the town and whatever planet you're on, stationed on for it, have some fun. And I remember after one of these, stuffy kind of things that my squad and I went out and went to, some dingy old bar. I don't even know what it was, but it was, always discounted drinks for anybody in the military. And so we went in and I just completely wasted at this at this bar. It was so disgusting, and I remember going into the bathroom, and it was like horrible. I don't even know why we were there. Uh, but I met my wife, and she was at the bar, and she was, drinking with some other girls, and we were flirting a little bit. And normally, that's not even who I am. Normally, I'm not, you know, that's not really my thing. I didn't really ever think that I would meet somebody, but she was so soft and sweet and funny. And my squad mates were there kind of egging me on. And so I talked to her, and then, the night went on, and she invited me back to her place. And I thought, this is the luckiest day of my life. Like, this is probably gonna be it. It's probably gonna be one beautiful night. And it was. And then I ended up being stationed there for a little while, and everybody in my squad was like, you gotta go for it, you gotta go for it. And so I think that was it. I think that was probably my best memory. And even though things didn't work out, for a while things were good. For a little while things were good.
It's kind of weird to have this conversation considering war is not necessarily good. They feed us this propaganda about how it's supposed to be for the greater good, but I don't know. I may be young and some might believe that I'm naive, but I know deep down it's not exactly what they're feeding us.
It's funny that both of us, our best memories are not really, it's almost tangential that there's a military thing, like my best memory is that night when I wasn't on duty, I wasn't doing anything. I just was you know, a handsome soldier at the
I
right place at the
mean,
right time.
I wouldn't have met you if it weren't for the military, so I guess it's a little more than tangentially relevant for me, but you know, neither memory really involves the act of being in a war, if that makes sense.
I think that a lot of people would always wonder why I was even a trainer, because nobody, I mean, pretty much none of the recruits liked me. and I obviously didn't want to be there. But I think the reason why I was good at my job was that I didn't ever make any of you think that it was going to be fun. Because sometimes people join up and they're like a little too excited, you know?
There's a like dry chuckle. Um, I mean, I always knew it was going to be hard, but I wasn't looking for something easy. I was looking for a direction to go. Um, I just happened to have a really good time with the mech, you know. The mechs were the fun part, really. But it's not like I ever trained for it or had any interest in it beforehand. I guess I kind of just discovered that along the way. Um, Weirdly enough, this entire thing has been a journey of discovery for me more than the actual war. Um, I guess if there's any value in the war for me, it's that time that I've spent finding myself.
And I think as you're saying that, I'm like, speaking of journeys, about how many clicks away are you, rookie? Because I don't want to stress you out, but things are getting a little dicey over here.
Uh, you know, I don't. I'm hoping to be there real soon. I'm about yeah, yeah. And then as she falters and hesitates, she just goes click. Mm,
Just hangs up. Uh, don't worry about it.
okay, hey, that is a good result. I rolled a 1 for a change.
Okay,
My dice
so
is it.
yeah. So there's a 1 in 5 chance that this is the Joker. Can you move the die over or the card over a little bit so chat can see? I think yeah, there we go. Because we want
Sorry,
to see this reveal.
I can't look. Okay, it's a 2.
Hey! I don't even think that gets rid of anything. Yeah, because I have a patch over the only 2. Hell yeah. All right. That was round 6. I get to draw a card.
Is it a Joker?
Okay. It's just a
No.
heart, which is I'm actually gonna use it to patch this 9. Because if that 9
Perfect.
goes, then this whole area down here goes. So we'll do that. And then oh, 10. Did we already have 10?
Yeah,
Yeah,
we
that's what
had
we
a
just
couple
did.
of them. Can we do a different
So
one?
yeah, let's do a different one. I'll just let you pick which one you want to do instead.
Uh, uh, oh gosh. Okay, you know what? We're just gonna go with this one. Okay. Uh, um, uh, um, and then she just comes back on the feed and just says, "Sorry, I hit the wrong button." Yeah, I should be there shortly. I am getting real close. I'm about 1 or 2 sectors away. I finally got away from the demilitarized zone, so no one's going to be trying to shoot me out of the sky for being in the military. It's kind of counterproductive that they're trying to shoot me out of the sky when there's not supposed to be any military, but I mean, I guess they have the right to protect their own territory. Um, You know, I was actually thinking just now, like, I really, really miss hamburgers. I miss the I miss the burgers that are from this one restaurant like in the big city. My parents would take me and my sister there every week as a treat, you know. You thought about like what the first thing you're going to do is once like the war's over, like what you want to do, like the first thing you'll do
Yeah. First thing I'll do.
cuz cuz I'm thinking a burger sounds real nice. I haven't had one in so long.
Um, I think I laugh a little bit and I say a burger does sound pretty good. What will I do when I get back? I guess the first thing I'll do. Well, first thing I'll do is take a nice hot shower for as long as I want. Sleep in a comfortable bed. Whenever I'm on furlough, that's always like the best thing. Because, the showers where, you get a coin and you're allowed to shower for so much time and yeah, there's no privacy and I like to use a nice soap and I haven't got to use a nice soap in a while. And then I think after that though, getting my own place. Cuz I've never really had my own place. No, I was like, I've had roommates, had my wife, but our place always seemed. I mean, she was there all the time. It always seemed like when I was home that I was kind of intruding, on her space. So I think uh, I think I've got enough saved up that I can put down a down payment for a house, and have as many hot showers and nice beds as I want for the rest of my life. I think that's the first real thing I'm going to do.
So you're a shower kind of person and not a bubble bath kind of person?
Bubble bath is just it's like too much, It's like it sometimes it feels bad to have too much luxury. You know what I mean? Like I'm like, what am I? I'm just a piece of shit. What am I doing taking a bubble bath?
Feel like a war veteran deserves that kind of luxury after the what 7 year conflict. I think maybe you should consider it. Might be nice for you to treat yourself. Um, I don't know. It's just a thought. You don't strike me as a self care kind of person, so I thought I'd put that out there.
Yeah, I've never really been a bubble bath and glass of wine kind of person, I've been like a hot shower and have a beer kind of person.
It's the first time for everything. And she just puts on whatever in universe equivalent of like super upbeat uh pop music into the transmission, and it's just
Yeah.
like uh Space S Club 7.
Space Club 7.
All right, here we go.
All right.
No, no, there's the ending. Just rolled for an end.
Yeah, okay. So it sounds like you rolled more than a 3, which is how many cards we have left.
Well, I rolled exactly a 3.
All right, let's still draw 'em. Let's draw 'em. We know that it's going to be the end, but let's see how long it takes.
um okay, well, oink.
Oh. So that's good. Even if you would have rolled a 1, it would have been the Joker. All right. So,
This
let me
feels
look.
this feels really bad. What are the other ones? Oh, see the other ones. The other ones would have been fine.
Yeah. But we
That's
were
not fair. That's not fair, Taylor.
war isn't fair. All right,
I
so we
know.
we have reached the ending, lost to the stars. The reactor has failed, the mecha is suffering total system failure. Life support is gone and explosions cascade throughout its frame. Any chance of rescue vanishes. The pilot makes their final transmission and they know it is going to be their last one. You may draw a final card to act as a prompt. So I could pick one of those, either 6 or 3 to act as a prompt, or I could use the Joker as a prompt. Whether speaking to the void or their forlorn hope of rescue, that should color what the pilot and the attempted rescuer say. And then for the rescuer, if the second Joker was drawn during the system failure phase, then the mecha's reactor suffers a sudden critical failure. That I already said that. The pilot may be speaking normally or as normal as it gets, oblivious to their oncoming end, or they may have a moment of panic as they realize what is happening. Either way, their transmission cuts off mid-sentence. If there is a rescuer inbound, they see a sudden flash of light among the wreckage that looks for all the world like a fleeting sun lighting up the void. They hear the pilot's final transmission and can respond as they wish, but the pilot never hears it, and the failed rescuer never gets a response. So I actually get to start the prompt this time. So let me look at the prompt list. Da, da, da. And the Joker prompts, I'm just gonna read them for the benefit of chat, because I actually think that's what I'm gonna go with, because it's the saddest. So the Joker prompts are: what gives you hope for survival, for your friends and loved ones, for what happens after the war? And so I think there's like a good amount, after we talk about like what the first thing we're gonna do after the war is over, there's like a good amount of time that passes as you're focused on trying to come get me. I'm focused on fighting a losing battle against my reactor, which I think I can tell is overheating, and I'm trying to reroute the extra energy and the heat to different exhausts, but I'm losing systems, I'm losing access to that, and I can just see by the time I'm doing this last transmission, I'm seeing the power, like, critical, like, kind of dial on the reactor get to, like, a point where I know you're not going to get here in time, or at least I have a good feeling that you're not going to. And so I turn the transmission on. I think you can tell that the transmission is like kind of choppy, so maybe that's why you don't really have a chance to like talk back and forth, because the transmission is coming through kind of choppily because I'm losing power. And I say, whatever happens, people like you are, I think, what we're gonna need for whatever comes after this. I don't know how I don't know how things are going. I don't know how this battle's gonna wrap up. If we win, then you get to have the rest of your life. And I know you've been through a lot, but that song that you played, I know that there's still got a lot of life left to live. And I know you don't like to think about people dying, and I know you don't like to think about death. And I hope this is the last time in a long time you got to think about it. Because I think there's a spark in you that, as much as you've managed to make of your life during the war, I think you're going to do even better. And then it cuts off. The transmission stops before I can finish what I was going to say.
Oh, that feels so bad. That feels so bad. Is there any more?
You get to make a
Yeah, and I
transmission
guess
back, yeah, that I just won't hear. And you can see, you can decide for yourself if you're close enough to see the explosion. You can narrate whatever you see, or what your transmission is.
yeah, I think there's like a realization as she sees this explosion as she's coming in inbound that she realizes she's too late. And there's one last transmission, just a short one that just says, "I'm sorry, I tried." And that's it. She um heads to um the um I don't know, central command where she has to report. She provides a folder of um, intel. She also reports that she wasn't able to make it uh, to the site on time. She finds Delta Squadron like almost immediately and tells them about what's under the mattress and the instructions to retrieve um, all of the stuff. Then, as the war winds down and all of that is sorted out with the help of the intel she provided, she takes her mech, runs away. She doesn't go back home. She goes to a different planet, but she finds a restaurant there and gets a burger. I think that that's the last you see of her. Whether she decides to go home or to do something different with her life, guess we won't know. That's kind of the epilogue. She's sitting there contemplating her next move with a
Yeah.
burger.
That makes me want a burger so bad, I have to be honest. So that's the upside. Devastating. Devastating ending. This game is very good, and even when you die, it's good. I can say that as a character who's died both times that I've played this game. I'm going
I
to. Oh, go ahead.
I was just gonna say I did that. I'm the problem.
I don't think it's you. I'm gonna transition us back over to the scene that doesn't have the thing in the middle. So hang on 1 second for a wrap up. Uh, there we go. So yeah, thank you, Anne, so much for coming on to play this game with me. I really appreciate it. And had so much fun playing this with you. And I like playing something a little more moody. You know me, I'm like normally more like silly, goofy, but this was good. And heartbreaking in all the best ways, and also sci-fi, which I love. So I'm gonna throw it over to you to let people know other projects you have going on, anything else that you want to plug, places that people can find you online, all that good stuff.
Actually, that beacon's link is broken, and I didn't even realize
Oh no!
it. So I didn't even realize that. So I am going to give you a different link if you
Yeah,
want
yeah,
to put
yeah.
it in chat, or can I put it in chat? I don't know if I can put it in chat. I
It'll block
don't.
you from doing it because I have links turned off. But if you send it to me, I can put it in for you. That's a while. I checked
I'll
it
put it in the
like
video.
yesterday and it worked.
Oh, did it? Because it wasn't working for me. Well, there's a backup link. I have
Okay.
backups for my backups. So you can put that in there too.
Okay.
I haven't been able to access beacons, but it might be a me issue. If you can still access it, then it's fine. I just wasn't sure. I was having problems with it. So there's a backup link.
Cool.
Hi, I'm
Click either of those
Anne.
links if you're in
I
chat.
Hi, I'm Anne. I play TTRPGs and am slowly learning how to uh, use OBS better. Um, I do TTRPGs on the internet. That's what I do. Yeah. You can find me a number of different places, mostly on the Bardic Inspiration Network. If you click on the stream title, Taylor did a cool thing. You can go and follow that channel because next week is D&D week, and I get to play a bunch of disasters. A tiefling divine soul sorcerer who gave 10% of her soul to get 100% of herself and her friends out of jail. Look, if you do the math, it's a good trade off. She only had to give up 10% to get her friends 100% out of jail. Um, yeah, we're doing a tournament arc on Monday, so there's going to be a lot of fun combat-y things. And on Wednesday, I play a cute little halfling who's everyone's little sister who is just trying to learn how to adult. And that's extra hard because she's training to be the leader of her tribe. It's a whole thing. Don't worry about that. But yeah, D&D is fun. I also play a lot of Power Rangers RPG campaigns. I have two of them on my channel. Um, play one character who is Miss Bubbly Sunshine. And because she's wearing red, the monsters think she's the leader. So I guess she's the leader. Power Rangers tropes. I am also the GM for another campaign that is 110% self indulgent and really fun. So that's me in a nutshell, I guess. Oh, and on Tuesdays, I play a teenage witch, like Melissa Joan Hart's Sabrina, but goes to regular school but also does magic. It's a whole thing. She is in the middle of a war with her friends, and Athena was like, "Hey, get good. You're supposed to be in this war." And she was like, I didn't ask to be in this war. I'm just trying to graduate high school." That's really funny. And also, Vampire the Masquerade, where my Toreador just found out that her sire might not be her sire because he's been lying and doing weird culty ritual things. So
Dang.
uh, horror can be a slice of life game if you play Vampire the Masquerade. Um,
True.
hey, uh, jokes. Yeah, that's it. That's all I got. Follow me on Twitter, XO_Girl Wonder, and I'll tell you where to find me at any given time because that's fun. Also, shout out to my storyteller for that. Mr. Mephisto was left a lurk, so I think he'll appreciate that whole comment.
Yes, I love that. We've got definitely got some vampire fans in the chat, so I'm sure people want to check that out. As for me, you can find me online pretty much everywhere at Roll for Felicity. I do have some exciting streams coming up, so not this Saturday, but next Saturday. Let me look at the dates because I have it on my phone. On the 16th on this channel, I will be playing a Descended from the Queen game called The Anomaly. That's going to be another incredibly indie game. So that's going to be really good. Keep a lookout on Blue Sky, Twitter, and Tumblr for announcement for cast for that, because it's a really good cast and it's a really cool game. If you like sci-fi, horror, stuff like Annihilation, it's kind of in that vibe. On the 30th on this stream, I'm going to be doing another Over the Table stream, which if you haven't caught other Over the Table games, it is where I have people on to talk about Reddit stories about TTRPGs. They're always a good time, and I have some really fun people who are coming on to talk about games, talk about Reddit stories with me for that stream. So that'll be the 30th. And then on this coming Monday, and then every other Monday after that, I'm actually going to be a part of a Minecraft group stream kind of thing that's going to be really fun. It's called Minecraft Taskmaster, I believe is what they're calling it. And basically every stream I will have a secret goal that I need to accomplish, but if anyone else finds out what that task is, then I lose it. And there's like other mitigating things, but the tasks are like I was watching a different channel do it, and the tasks are things like make a joke and have nobody laugh, like that kind of stuff. So it won't be crafts, like it won't be me doing Minecraft tasks. It'll be me doing like interacting with other people tasks. So I'm really excited for that. That's gonna be, I'll be streaming it on this channel, and it's with the folks from Entropy Emporium. So there'll be a bunch of different people streaming their perspectives of that. So that's starting on the 11th, and then I believe every other Monday we'll be doing that for I don't know how long, the foreseeable future. And then speaking of Entropy Emporium, Fridays, this Friday, the 22nd and the 29th, I am still a part of their Stream of Thirsty Sword Lesbians, which is a post-apocalyptic game where I'm playing like a paladin who's not allowed to fall in love, but oh no, she did. So we'll see what happens with that. And
As you do when you're not allowed to do something, you do it
right.
anyway.
Exactly, exactly. You get it. You get it. So that game's been super, super fun. So we have a stream tomorrow, and then not off next week, and then the two Fridays after that. That's everything that I've got going on. Stay tuned because I'll be announcing stuff for April pretty soon. Already can't believe that it's I have to start planning stuff for April. Um, but I think that's everything that I need to go. Oh, I was gonna say this earlier until I forgot. Mila, thank you for the resub. 37 months. That's so wild. Thank you, as always, for the sub, and then also being one of my mods. And then thanks to everybody for doing the alarm lights during the stream. That's always super fun. I've been trying to incorporate more interactive stuff like that during streams. So I always love when people actually do it. That I think is everything that I need to say. So, Anne, do you want to say goodbye to the chat and goodbye to the YouTube VOD?
Uh, Thank you for having me, Taylor. It's always great to be on this channel. Just let me see, what do I have in my head? Always remember to be kind. Self-care is awesome. Do it more. And also free Palestine, because
Yeah,
genocide is bad. Uh,
agree. Co-sign all
those
of
are
that.
my things.
Yeah,
That's
thank
it.
you everybody for watching, and we'll see you later. Bye.